We ask all of you to come here today so that we can discuss some math options with you. Mr. Powell and I'm Mrs. Garcia. We teach the AP Calculus and the AP Statistics here at Hanna. And what we wanted to do before you went into your IGP process was to give you a little bit of a heads up to understand what's involved in the coursework and to compare a little bit to the dual enrollment courses that you can take at Tri-County. We're going to start with statistics. If you're in AP Statistics, it is a year-long course. You have to have a prerequisite of a B or higher in Algebra 2 CP or pass Honors Algebra 2. The good news about that course is that you can take it at the same time that you take a pre-cal class or even a calculus class. The wonderful thing is if you're a junior, you can take AP Stats, and as a senior, you can take AP Calculus. And you get both of those really good math credits along the way. The thing about statistics is that at some point, everyone in their lives is going to have to analyze something. And that's going to be a good starting point for you. The Honors Prob Stats is a semester course. You can see the prereqs for that, where you learn to interpret data, and it will get you very well prepared when you go into college that next year, if you're a senior. Again, you can take it at the same time as pre-cal or calculus. They're a totally different math course. You want to talk to me about that or a guidance counselor if you're interested in the statistics. These are some things that I wanted you to think about with stats. If you look at the green at the bottom especially, as of 2017, estimations showed that jobs that require data literacy and statistics are among the 10 fastest growing occupations in the country. And that came from the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. It is a math course that's very applicable, as calculus is very applicable. You're going to use these courses in a lot of what you do in the real world. Oh, and for statistics, I know when I check with colleges and the recruiters for colleges, the majority of your coursework and your what you want to go into for your occupation requires some form of statistics, typically more than one class. So remember that. All right, Mr. Powell.
Hi guys, my name is Mr. Powell. I'm going to talk to you for just a second about calculus. I teach the AP calculus classes. We have two. Ms. Murray in the back teaches the honors calculus classes. So I'll just kind of run down through the differences or the similarities of what they are. If you take the honors calc class, it is a semester course. It's not a college credit, it's just a high school credit, but it is an honors credit. You need to have a C or a higher in a pre-calculus class. Now, I know all of you are in Algebra 2 right now. You can go straight to stats from Algebra 2, but in order to take a calculus class, you need to take the pre-cal class first. We have pre-cal CP and pre-cal honors. If you get a C or higher in pre-cal CP, or you pass pre-cal honors, then you can take the Calc Honors course. It gives you just kind of a brief introduction to everything that you're going to do in a calculus course. The good thing is a lot of times seniors want to take a year off of math right before they go to college, and they lose a lot of their skills that they need in order to do well in those college classes or on some of those entrance tests. And that Honors Calc course keeps you fresh on those without losing any of your skills. In terms of AP Calculus is a year long. There are two levels. There's AP AB Calculus, which is Calculus 1 in college, and there's AP Calculus BC, which is Calculus 1 and 2. So BC moves a little faster and we cover more material. You got to have a B or a higher in honors pre-calculus and a teacher recommendation in order to take either one of those classes. And you get a really good foundation for anything that you want to do after calculus. In terms of calculus, taking the course just lets anybody know that you're serious about your education and that you want to move forward. So having it on a high school transcript looks really well for you. It builds careers in a high-tech world, applies to many real-world applications, and gives the ability to communicate mathematically across several different curriculums there as you go through. In terms of the benefits of the AP classes versus the dual enrollment classes. Dual enrollment, you usually take them for one semester. Now, I'll speak in terms of calculus. In terms of the calc class at Tri-County, You'll go for about 23 classes, and you'll go for about an hour apiece. And you get the exact same amount of material that we spend a whole year doing 5 days a week. Most of the people that I talk to that take the Tri-County classes talk about how fast it goes and how much material they cover. And that's true. So taking the AP course just gives you more time with me, more time in class with us working problems, and just gets you pretty much better off to be able to work the material. All of your homework at Tech is online, and you have to schedule time to be with your teacher. Here it's like a normal class where you can just come in, ask questions, we can work through things and kind of go through. If you plan to go past calculus, and I'll let Ms. Garcia speak for stats, but if you plan to take a Calc 2 or a Calc 3 or be an engineering major or architecture or anything like that, I strongly recommend the AP course just because your foundation is going to be so much better coming out of AP versus a Tri-County class. So that's my kind of experience there. Ms. Garcia, did you have?
For the AP statistics, very similar to what Mr. Powell was saying about AP Calculus, the Tech version of statistics is Math 120, and I taught Math 120 for about 9 years at the same time that I was teaching here, and I can tell you that they're very different courses. Things that you need to know about going to dual enrollment classes. I asked the kids what they liked about being in AP class. They said, first of all, it doesn't require transportation to get there. The classes are free. You get to take the AP test at the end of the year for either AP class, and it will not charge you a dime to take. You also have the extra added benefit of knowing your teachers. You know who's going to be teaching that here. A lot of the students don't like the teachers that they get when they go to Tri-County. It's, as they told me, it was a roll of the dice. I know that I listened to them this year, and there's one that they absolutely don't like, and they're struggling with. As far as building relationships, you're going to be in our classes every day for 180 days. We have a lot of fun. In my class, we do a lot of group work, so they have a lot of opportunities to discuss with each other. It's not just an independent work, where in Math 120, I had to go at such a fast pace, and it was about 23 class sessions versus 180. The kids didn't have time to ask questions for homework in class. They had to find me outside of class, which was difficult because I don't work there full time. So it was hard for them to do that. Plus, it was all online homework there, which if you've ever done anything online with math, it's not easy to do. You can say, if the answer is 23.1 and you put 23.2, it's going to mark you wrong. We don't have that issue here. We work with you. We have more time to spend with you. Also, one thing you want to think about is you have to pass with a C. I know from 120, and I'm sure it's the version of calculus over there. You have to pass with a C in order for that to transfer to another college. You might get the high school credit if you make a D in it, but you're not going to get to use it as a transfer credit. Plus, a lot of my students did mention that some of the colleges would not take the Tri-County credit. There's more opportunity for them to accept an AP credit. I've taught both, and there's no comparison. The AP class, if you are capable of doing AP work, is a much better option, especially if you have to take a second statistics class once you get to college. The Math 120 will not be the best bet for you to take because it's a very basic skill level there. One thing that both of us would like for all of you to do when you leave today, you're getting to that point where you have to make a decision what you think you'd like to do in life as a career. So we want you to think about that and start looking into some course catalogs at colleges that you're interested in and see what math is required. If you have to have calculus, then you need to take that here at TL Hanna with Mr. Powell because he's an excellent calculus teacher and you're going to get immersed in it completely and have a really good understanding. If you need statistics, you need to take that with me because I can get you through that course and you'll have a great understanding of it before you leave here. You'll get far in college if you can take the AP Stats class here. If you don't need calculus and you need stats, then you need to focus on going toward that way. If you don't need stats and you need calculus, that's the direction you need to focus on. We don't want you to just take whatever math because you think it'll be fun. We want it to be useful to you when you leave here and go to college. Does anybody have any questions for us? Oh, there is one more thing I did want to point out, and guidance mentioned this to us the other day, that the highest grade, the way Tri-County reports grades is by letter, like ABC. So if you get an A in Math 120, the highest numerical value that you get here is a 95, where in our classes, you can get 100. So it does affect your GPA in that way, okay? Does anybody have any questions that we can field for you?
Both of our rooms are in the 800 hall. We're always outside of our door and that kind of stuff. So if y'all have any questions as you come up and if you're talking to guidance or your parents about what classes you need to take, swing by and talk to us, and we'll try to help you out any way that we can. Okay. Hopefully, a lot of you will see Ms. Garcia next year, and then maybe me in 2 years. That's the goal for both of us, is to try to get as many people in the class that can do well as we can. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Y'all can head back
Thank
to
you
your
so
own
much.
classes. Y'all have a good day, guys.